Hello.
So in this video,
Hello. Can you guys hear me? I'm actually hearing me back after some time, so I don't know if it's because of the delay or something else. Hi, can you guys hear me now? Okay, hi guys, good morning. I'm assuming a lot of people here. I haven't done any YouTube live streaming from Zoom before, so I'm completely new to this. So please forgive me if I make some mistakes technologically, because I'm also technologically challenged a bit. So my idea is today to kind of chat with you guys about a few things. But I feel a little weird, no, because I can't see any of your faces. I can't actually. I don't move forward, and it's very weird to do this kind of an interaction because I'm very used to like go to colleges, universities, or any other public places and talk face to face, and it's quite weird for me now. But let's try, no? Let's try and see how this goes. Yeah. So, hola, don't worry, I'll be talking only English. Spanish and Spanish. Hello, and how are you guys doing? Uh, so, hope you guys are doing great during this pandemic. I know it's not easy, but we are striving through this, right? So, let's stay safe and do a lot of interactions like this. And that's what I would like to say at this moment, because we know the cases are increasing day by day in our country, and we all are like panicking. We want to make sure we do the best safety for ourselves and the people around us. Safe, guys. So if you don't know me, I'm assuming most of you don't know who I am. My name is Rahul Raghav. So why I'm here in this conversation is also, I think quickly, I just want to maybe for you guys to know a little bit about me, because I think otherwise this connection we build right now won't exist. And I don't want to be an alien who just come and just talk something and go away. Rather, I prefer to have more interactions after this, and this should be just a start. Yeah. So I feel like it's better if we know a little bit about each other. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Sorry, I might be looking at my phone in a few times because I'm also coordinating with them in the back end aspect. So sorry. Cool. So very little about me. Can you guys see my slide? I'm hoping you guys can see it. So Malu lives in Bangalore. I'm sure there are a lot of Malus also hearing this. So I'm a Malu, born and brought up everything until my whole education. I did it in Kerala from Kannur. And then that's after that, like, most of Malus, I also went to Bangalore. So I live in Bangalore right now with my wife and kid. But I'm a Malu. Cool. The other thing, quickly, in terms of my career, my journey, one thing I was passionate and I was doing as in the beginning of my career was international volunteering. So I was working with the international organization, and that's how I started my career. So we work with volunteers from different countries, and we were working in different projects as well. So I started my career. That's how I came to the social sector. But actually, I studied computer science, which I never enjoyed. And a lot of people used to ask me, "Hey, why did you choose this profession?" Because I always say, whenever I went to school, I really remember what I learned as subjects, but I remember the extracurricular activities like scouting, national service scheme, or other initiatives we did. And so I think that is my focus from childhood, and that's how I came to the volunteering aspect. And the after that, actually, worked on something called informed career choices. That's again working for the rural young kid in terms of helping them to figure out their career choices and how to make best career choices. And the other aspect I worked on. And then I was also practicing experiential education. I know it's a very new word for lawyers. Experiential education is nothing but learning through doing, learning through play. Yeah, so that's what experiential education is. Don't worry about that word, but in simple words, if you look at the Kerala education system, the DPEP was a small element of experiential education. Yeah, so that's what I did for a few years, and then right now I'm with the UN, which is a national volunteer-driven organization working on specific education and care, healthcare. So this is the major area we focus right now. I'll definitely talk about that organization and what we're doing on that soon conversation, because the one important aspect today, which Just a moment. Yeah. So one major aspect I'm going to talk is how you and I is going to what are we planning, how we are planning ahead, how that is one element I want to talk. So I think I'll talk more about you and I there. But in general, this was my journey so far, and I don't know how eligible I am to talk in detail about a big topic like what is the scope of social work after COVID-19. But what I know a little in this very sector, I will try to share as much as possible. Like I said at the beginning, it's good for me just talk like a radio. I never tried this. I always love direct interaction. Like if I miss something, if I am not talking something very in detail, so please make sure you ask a lot of questions because I'm going to talk about 30-35 minutes, and then I'm going to give 20-25 minutes time for you guys to ask me questions, and that will be more interactive, I guess. Yeah, so assuming you guys can listen me, you guys can see my screen and just moving ahead with that hop. Yeah, cool. Um, so welcome to this session. First of all, thank you for signing up and coming here. This is really amazing to see a lot of people signing up and coming here and watching this. Cool. So let's talk about social work. Huge question right now because like I actually was in Bangalore and then I moved from Bangalore to Kerala, came to my home in March 7th. Yeah. And I think this is May end. So it's almost like 2.5 months. Sorry guys, I think there was some issue with my internet. Hope you guys can see me right now. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so this topic is being discussed a lot, and I was saying like I came back home and I was here, but luckily we were able to work from home and make our own projects run. So thanks to that. But I think when we talk about this, I actually want to kind of think through in two different directions. One, like I would like to look at this way, um, crisis is the mother of innovation, and that's a famous quote which I love because until and unless there is a crisis, we won't break our boxes around, and if we don't break our boxes around, nothing is going to change. It's very normal, right? A lot of people use this word now as new normal. Yeah, I mean, COVID-19 is a new normal. This situation right now is a new normal. So it's very important how we react, how we look at that crisis mode. Yeah. So we'll be just talking about those, how we can look at that crisis mode, and then talk about a few things, what the social sector is going to focus in the upcoming few months or years together. Yeah. So when I talk about that, yeah, I mean, we all know COVID-19 is spreading, a lot of medical emergencies happening, and plus a lot of social issues are also raising up. Yeah. So, so in a way, for me, I would like to look at COVID-19 in a very positive note, even though there are so much happening and the sad news keep coming every moment, then now and then. But I would really like to look at it as an opportunity in a way. Yeah. Why I say, because it's very easy to look at COVID-19 as an obstacle. Yeah. And I've seen, or I am seeing, so many organizations, so many people, so many companies, everybody look at it as an obstacle. Yeah. And I mean, that's a natural way for any organization to respond to the crisis because, oh my God, right now it's COVID-19 and I don't know what to do now. And my only way to look at it is, oh my God, this is a problem and I need to do something. Yeah. And if this problem is going to hit, I'm going to have this faults, and that's what we look at in one side. Yeah, but the other side, like I said, the best opportunity. Yeah. And why I say it's best opportunity, I will definitely go to the details of why it's an obstacle and why it is an opportunity in detail for organizations and the sector of social work. Because so just think in the perspective of an organization, right? Uh, and let's talk about how the obstacle look like for an organization. There's so many, but I just listed very few, very crucial specifically for the organizations in India, and plus also from my knowledge, having conversation with a couple of CEOs, couple of founders, and those informations, right? One is lack of fund flow. Like a couple of organizations which was clearly depending on the fund flow from CSR, fund flow from individual donations, and all that, right? And we all know we are going to have a financial crunch across the globe after this because of the lockdown, because of the industries affecting with this, and all that aspects. We're going to have a lack of fund flow, and that's going to be a huge obstacle. Yeah. Even because of this, I at least know two organizations where they have to ask their staff to stop working and find other jobs in other organizations or places. So that is one big obstacle. A lot of NGOs are going to struggle with, and already struggling with otherwise. And that is a major aspect, I feel. And the other obstacle is change in timeline. So I know a lot of organizations, because it's the beginning of the year, all of them were set with year plan, annual plan, monthly plan, everything. And this is how our program is going to look like now. All that is perfectly ready, but now everything got collapsed, right? And it's very difficult to go back to normal with that, because you would have planned 500 things, but now you can do only 5 things. You don't know when you will be able to go back to the normal uh, routine, normal phase. So that will be there. And so it's complete collapse in terms of timeline. And then uh, it is working remotely. Yeah, working remotely also affected a lot of organizations. First of all, if you look at the NGOs, when I spoke to the youth, national youth policy, the person who wrote national youth policy. If you don't know what's national youth policy, there's something called national youth policy, which is specifically written for Indian youth. As a very beautiful document, but we young people never heard about it, know about it. Bad news. But the person who wrote, actually, they did a good research on things, and they said about 2 million organizations are there specifically just work on youth aspects in India. So imagine how many organizations are there, right? And the specialty of most of the organizations is they work on ground. They're not people who like to sit in a AC room or AC compartment and just talk about big things or work for a client from somewhere. They're always hands-on. They're always on ground doing things, right? And a lot of organizations' biggest problem right now is they're not able to run projects because they can't be on hands-on. They can't be hands-on. They can't be in the place. All that, and that's a huge issue right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys can imagine, but that is exactly a big thing. And organizations like the founders I spoke, they're really struggling to figure out what work they can go give to these employees, what they don't know, right? Because if Say, for example, if you're working on environmental issues as an organization, you might have planned planting saplings or taking care of a garden, whatever, or cleaning a river, all those kind of projects, right? And nothing is possible because nothing is these are things which you can't do from a laptop somewhere else, sitting somewhere else, right? Or sitting at home. So this is a huge obstacle for organizations. I mean, I just listed very few. There's so many, starting from very small organizations where they're trying to figure out their area of work. They don't know. Very fund is a huge thing. So a lot of people struggling with that. So I don't want to actually focus so much on this aspect because we all know there are so much struggle going to happen in the sector. It's already happening in the sector. Yeah. So I actually want to take you guys through and talk more about what is that opportunity looks like, because I think that's where we need to realize what we are in and how we can go further with it. And it's very important also to stay positive and know that this is a best opportunity. And trust me, it sounds like okay, I'm randomly saying it's the best opportunity. It's not. It's not. If you believe crisis is the mother of innovation, this is the best opportunity. And I think as organizations, we really need to believe that crisis is the mother of innovation, and we really need to innovate. Yeah. In India, I think the one sector, if you ask me, one sector which really need to develop more, which is definitely the social sector, the NGO sector, the non-profit sector. Yeah. So I think this is a good punch on our face, and it's also a good time for questioning us and good time for us to thrive. Yeah. So I believe it's time to thrive and not to strive. Yeah. So let's keep that in mind. Let's thrive through this as a community, as a social organizations. Let's do this. Yeah. So opportunity wise, so a lot of people think like, okay, like I said, an example about the environmental organization, right? So their biggest problem was, hey, what do we do now? How do we implement the programs we planned? Forget about it. Not just time for us to just stick with our plan. It's time to change plans. It's time to find or start new programs. Yeah, and that is what I mean by thriving. Yeah, you should be able to thrive. Forget about what you planned. Nothing is going to happen as it is, right? So know that it's an opportunity. So let's plan for new programs. Let's start new programs based on the need. Yeah, there's so many needs going to come up. Trust me, there's so many needs going to come up, and it's very important that we address those needs as social organizations. Yeah, and so it's time to think about what are the new programs you can work on, implement, add on to your organization profile. And the other thing is the biggest relief for a lot of organizations is COVID-19 support is part of CSR. Before it wasn't, and right after the crisis came in, the law amendment came in, and then they actually added COVID-19 as one of the elements in CSR. So now companies can fund any projects related to COVID-19 as part of their CSR funding. So there's a huge relief because one example I'll give you, my organization, UNI. So we work with underprivileged kids, teaching them English. Yeah, that was, I mean, and our almost our 40% of our funding was CSR. And our biggest worry right after the crisis was, hey, how are we gonna manage this? Because like we're not gonna get fund from CSR, right? But the biggest relief was, okay, so now they added COVID-19 as one element in CSR. That's where I was talking about the first point, right? Starting new programs. So we started innovating that way. Of course, I'll come to that. What are we doing? But that was a huge relief for us. So we know there is going to be a fund flow, even though the programs we might run, we run might not be the same forte of what we have already, but we know we can still use our human resources and we can still support people around us. Yeah, so that's a great point. And the third thing is health and hygiene. I think that's one area which is going to boom really in the social sector, because everybody is going to look at trainings, look at support, look at financial support, look at program support in that sector. Yeah, a lot of medical camps, a lot of health and hygiene camps, a lot of awareness programs, a lot of things are going to happen in that area. And that is the need of this hour. Yeah. So I hope you guys also agree with me on that point. And the other thing is mental health. Yeah. I think if you really look at or read through the articles coming in, it says the kind of issues we're going to have with mental health sector, mental health area is going to be huge. We have no clue how large, how huge it's going to be, because people are really going to suffer in different aspects, physically, mentally, and socially, and that all also going to add up to the mental health, and it's going to come out really bad. Yeah, so we need to expect that and really start to focus on that area. And I think these are the major areas I mentioned. Like you said about the obstacle, there are so many things. I also don't know. I think I have very little time also, so I might not be able to cover so much. So I'll quickly run. So just want to give a big picture of what I spoke so far. I know if you look at the picture, before COVID-19, it was very normal, right? And I think if we look at this as an opportunity where COVID-19 happens, and then we need to look at this way. So during COVID-19, it's time for us to just to react to what is the situation, what is happening, and then connecting the dots and making sure things are happening. Can be like COVID relief or whatever it is, but I think that should be the focus. But if you really look at after COVID-19, I think we really need to use our creativity and build those shapes, build those programs. And that's how we'll be able to overcome as a sector. Otherwise, we will suffer, we will die off. Yeah. So I think this should be our focus, pulling all your creativity, pulling all your skill sets to build new programs and ideas, so that we have different shape altogether to go after the strive after COVID-19. Yeah. What UNI is doing right now? UNI is the organization, again, the organization which I work with. Very briefly, I just want to tell you guys what we are doing. So we are doing COVID-19 relief work. So we did a fundraising campaign. We raised 11 lakhs through that, and then we actually did COVID-19 relief work. So what we did is we bought materials, necessary materials, and distributed to all the kids we cater to. We work with about 2,000 kids across 25 states, and we have made sure at least one kit is being sent to each kid's family at this moment. That is one big thing. Apart from that, with Bangalore Police help, we also distributed a lot of kits to different families across. That's one area we worked with it. And then secondly, it also, so before we always do offline volunteering, which is we have a model of every volunteer come and contribute 2.5 hours to the one individual kids for 9 months. That's a program we run. It's called after school teaching. So right now we also realized, we can actually run the same program remotely also, which means right now if I need 10 volunteers in Bangalore, I recruit 10 volunteers from Bangalore. and they'll be teaching the kids in Bangalore. Yeah, because they have to travel every week and spend 2.5 hours with that kid. That's a model we have. But with this remote volunteering, you can be anywhere in the world, and you can spend that 2.5 hours during a week, and which actually makes the things much more easier and much more faster and effective. So we are also doing that right now. I think we never, as an organization, this is our 10th year, we never imagined we will do something like this. And I think because of the crisis, we were able to thrive and make sure this happens. And we also want to make sure the kids we cater are getting support and not left out because of COVID-19. Yeah. So that, and then sanitization kit and medical camps are the other focus we are doing. So we're giving them every center. We work with 60 centers across 25 cities. So we're giving sanitization kit to all the centers. So right now, almost 86% of the kids are back to their families, back to their houses. And when they come back, we want to make sure they have enough sanitization kit for their normal life together, because that's one area also where no group of kids come together, right? Like maybe 20, 30 kids together in one place. And we're also going to run multiple medical camps for them, because we also know apart from the COVID-19, they also might have different diseases and things, because the life was just stuck at their house and small place. And when I say houses, I'm talking about small shed places like that. Yeah. And the other one is extensive counseling session. I was talking about mental health, the kind of trauma they've been going through, which we came to know, is horrible, really horrible. So it's going to be really, a hard time where they come back and mentally traumatized situations. So we're going to have extensive counseling sessions right after they come back, so we can make sure mentally they are stable, mentally they are healthy, and that's one of our focus. Yeah. So these are the 4 things right now we are focused on, but also we're not stopping there. We are coming up with a couple of programs like a Million Dream Project and all that, but it's still getting into shape, so that's why I'm not sharing much about it here. Yeah. Cool. I want to actually I think I almost finished 30 minutes. Before I wind up my whole quick and fast presentation, I just want to share a story and to stop with that. Also, last point I spoke is much connected to this. This is Sindhu. The picture is not original. Name is original. Picture is not original. I have kept my CPP, child protection policy, in place, and that's why I'm not able to use the picture or the specific details about the kid here. But I'm just gonna tell the story. It's a true story. I'm using a different pictures and all that, so that I'm making sure I'm not violating the child protection policy. Yeah. So her name is Sindhu, and she's one of the kid we teach. She's from Mumbai, and she's one of the happy kid, right? In the center, when you visit the center, this kid will run to you, and she's very smart. She will show you all the poems she wrote. She can sing. She sings really well. All that. So and look at the smile, no? So very innocent, very nice kid. And we actually teach her English every week, and I think last 2 years we've been teaching her. So now she can speak a little bit, and that's good progress in terms of her. So right after COVID-19 came, so there was a government order where they said all these kids need to go back to their families and stay, to avoid these kids staying in the center. Plus, they need more support from the families and all that. So when the learning center in charge, the center in charge went and told Sindhu, hey, Sindhu, you have to go back to your parents. And she wasn't so happy, but one side, but the other side, she was excited because she said, okay, after some time, I'm going to stay with my parents for a few days because it's going to be, center in charge also said it's going to be almost 14 days during the first lockdown. So just go stay with them and then you can come back. That's what they told her. So she was like, okay, great. At least a few days I can stay with them, and mom, mother and father, they are also there. So it's good, like after some years, I'm gonna stay with them. She was really excited in other end. Other than just like she actually don't want to go because she loved this environment in the center, the people, and she know UNI is not gonna come and teach kids, so she's gonna miss that all that, right? So finally she went. And she reached her house. This is her house. It's a slum in Mumbai, and this is how her house looks like inside. She was happy. First 1 or 2 days it was good, and then it wasn't going very great because she became a victim of her father's abuse. Because of the lockdown, her father is a drunkard. He need alcohol every day. He works in a construction site. So both mother and father works in a construction site. Both were not working, so there is no money coming to the family. Secondly, like there is no alcohol available, so he was actually getting frustrated with it. After first 3-4 days, he started really getting irritated with it and don't know how to do, and he started reacting that. And he started actually reacting on Sindhu, yeah. And Sindhu started getting beaten up and all those sort of, and her mother too. So it was really, really hard. Actually, like, we don't know what to do because they can't go out of the house, they can't go out of the community, and there's nobody to help her, and she just have to go through this thing. And the father was getting worse every day and started abusing both of them very, very badly. Yeah. And one day when one of our volunteer actually went, I was talking about the kit, kit donation, COVID-19 relief, as part of the COVID-19 relief work. They went to her house and then gave one kit, and that time she actually called that volunteer and said, Baya, I want to say something. And she actually told him, this is what is happening, and she don't know what to do. Yeah. And then the volunteer actually don't know what to say at that point of time, because he also don't know what we can do at that moment, right? So he came back and spoke to us and told the story, and then we were trying to help her through the child welfare committee, CWC, and they brought her to the CWC center and all that. That's what happened with Sindhu. Like, and we know we all want to stop this kind of harassment, this kind of trauma for every kid or everybody or every woman or whoever come across. And this is one kind of issue, after effect of COVID-19. And I know there are other 100 things, but I'm just talking about one example, what is exactly happening, right? We all want to stop this, but it's also not easy as a normal time. So what we can do was thinking we came across. But I mean, that's why I also said counseling is going to be one of the extensive program we're going to run after COVID-19, because that's going to be a major element of our program. Yeah. So I was also reading through few articles, and it says 727 domestic violence related cases were reported to legal service authorities across country during lockdown. And also a couple of other articles, it says it's just 10% of the total cases. So which means it's more than 7,000 cases just happened during this 2 months time. Yeah. And that can be even very small, might be increasing every day by day. So imagine how this is affecting everyone mentally, and that's gonna create a huge traumatized community across our country. Yeah, just gave you this example to tell you here, how crisis is affecting, and this could be one area where social sector could really focus and do a lot more things. Yeah. Uh, so you and I, as an organization, we work many things. We work on many things, but I think one meeting we had last week, and one thing we said is we are not gonna ask any employee to leave the organization. In fact, we are hiring more people, and we are changing our gears and making our new programs and sustaining that way, and then also trying to kind of build new ecosystem within the organization so that we can utilize the CSR funding and also support the staff better. Yeah. So we are actually on that mission. So I think, and that's where I also personally learned how to look at this crisis as the mother of innovation and as an opportunity. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. So this is my email ID, contact number, Insta ID. So kind of like I know I was just randomly talking so many things, but I know you guys have some of the questions to ask. So I will be very happy to answer if I know about those things. And also like I would like to continue this conversation because I know like it's very small drop in an ocean, but let's have more conversations about this, and that's how the sector will grow, sector will change. Yeah. So let's do that. And Gracious, thank you so much. And I hope I didn't take too much time. I'm on time, it's 11:40. So I'll just give you the next 20 minutes to ask the questions. So I guess you guys are gonna comment the questions, then I'm gonna answer to them. Give me a 10 second, and let me take my phone and then I'll answer. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please give me feedbacks. Let me know how it was. Uh, I loved doing this, love talking about this. And let's keep talking. Yeah. All the best. Have an amazing time. Stay safe. And thank you. I'm looking at the uh, yeah. So I'm looking at my phone. Uh, so if you guys can ask questions, I'll be able to answer them. Yeah, I think Daniel asked, could you please share about your volunteering experience? I think like I started my so I don't know actually how to define volunteering though. Okay, I'll answer the first one and then go to the second. So volunteer experience wise, I started my like I said, no, in my schooling is when I started volunteering. So scouting was one area where I actually came to know you can do a lot more things for the people around, all that. And then I did national service scheme. National service scheme, I was part of national service scheme from school and then college. And I was also fortunate enough to participate in state level national service scheme camps and trainings, and that helped me a lot. And after that, like once during my last year of college, that's when actually I started volunteering with this organization who get international volunteers from different countries. I started volunteering with them, and then that's how I started get to know about different countries, their culture, the spirit of volunteering, the youth movements across the world, and that was a good start, and that's where actually I got more interested in that, and then joined that organization. It's called FSL India, and they're in Bangalore. So I joined there, and then after that, I worked there for 5 years. So during that time, I was completely with volunteers and youth movements. Uh, and I think somewhat similar is what I'm doing right now. Also, in UNI, also we work with volunteers. A whole model is built on volunteers. So we are working with them. And last 2 years, I'm with UNI. Uh, so a lot of trainings, leadership trainings, coachings, and a lot of experiential based trainings, and all that is what I do there. And yeah, I mean, and apart from that, I do volunteer with Play for Peace, which is an organization. They are technically build try to build peace in conflict areas. So they do a lot of, they just go randomly play games, which actually help to build collaboration and help to communicate and build communities. So that's what they do with it. So these are the volunteering experience. Apart from that, I keep volunteering in even in UNI. Apart from the work aspect, I keep volunteering with different organizations, and I think that's part of my life because after I uh, finished my graduation, I realized that's my sector and that's my area which I really want to work on, expertise on. And last 9 years, I'm doing this, and I think the happiest person to do something like this throughout. So definitely, this is the best thing I'm enjoying. Yeah, let's look at a couple of other questions. One is Rupesh Jadhav, what do you think about job opportunities increased after COVID-19 for social workers? So I would say it's not increased, but actually it's not decreased also. Uh, there's nothing changed. I know a lot of people keep calling me and asking, hey, is there any job opportunity? Can you help me? I lost my job, all that. So definitely there's some organizations really struggling, but that is a small percentage, I would say, because most of the organizations are able to strive, uh, able to thrive because they are very innovative and they think, especially I would say the organizations which are quite new and able to innovate, they all are really at good pace in hiring people. Other people, other organization which is very small maybe, or quite old, and innovation aspect is quite low, they are struggling. Yeah. So job sector wise, there is still the same. I don't think it's reduced or increased because of Dinesh Mali. Because of COVID-19, people are badly affected in terms of mental health. A lot of negativity is spreading in our society. So how people should stay positive during this crisis? I think, I mean, I'm not a mental health practitioner or somebody who work in that sector. So I don't know how much I'll be able to give a very specific answer to those questions. But I think it's all about, connecting, because because of the social distancing, because of the lockdown, the biggest problem is, and as humans, we are social animals, right? So what we actually miss is connecting. And I think there are a lot of platforms, a lot of technology right now for us to connect. One thing I just want to share what we practice in NI is we have something called community for immunity. So every as an organization, we spend 1 hour playing games online. It's not like games, but actual, like, murder mystery or things like that. Games like that we play on Zoom. And that helps a lot in terms of all the colleagues, because I have colleagues who really not with their families, office meeting others. So that helped them very, very much. So know that every one of us keep checking on people. That's what I could suggest from my understanding and learning. Yeah. Hope I gave you something, Dinesh. Uh, Albin Mutholikal, sir, in the post period, mental health of people will be a guys. Sorry, I think I again lost you guys. I'm back. So Albin was asking, sir, in the post period, mental health of people will be a great concern. Till now, social work is not considered as a chartered profession. Will our government recognize our profession? So I think it's also very, I'm assuming you have seen the sector from a very state specific area. Specifically, like if you look at big cities, no, I agree with you, it's not there remotely everywhere. We are not like, the computer engineers or doctors who is across the place. I agree with you, but I also want to tell you it's not a very small industry, small sector. Yeah. Uh, so know that it's quite large sector, and when I said more than 2 lakh, 2 million organizations, imagine at least you take 2 million to 10 million people working in that, and that's not a small sector. Yeah. So I mean, I'm talking about a very small number, small ratio, and this will be much more, much bigger than what I said right now. So the profession is being recognized by the government. Uh, that is why there are policies like CSR policies and things in place, and there are a lot of funding from the government to support non-profits also available, and there are a lot of projects for the government is done by non-profit. Non-profit does a lot of projects for government. So that's also is being done because the government recognized our sector. So I think it's already recognized, but it's different in each states. Like in my personal experience, state like Kerala, uh, like if I go and say I'm a social worker, people will look at you and ask like, really, what are you? What is that? Right? It's not very popular. But at the same time in Bangalore, uh, or some of the parts of Karnataka, or even Mumbai or Maharashtra and all, if I go and talk about it, people understand. People know it's because there are a lot of organizations working. So also again based on need of the organization, because Kerala might not need so many organizations to work on so many areas because government is already doing so many things. But in other states, they need support from external organizations like us. So that's why they've been recognized more. Yeah, I think that's a difference. Jisha Shaji, do you feel there will be a decline in the CSR initiatives post this crisis? I think yes. Definitely, there'll be a lot of focus on COVID-19 after COVID-19 from CSR. But the other big challenge going to come is if companies are not, say, the according to policy, 1% of their annual income is to be given as CSR, right? So if they're not going to earn much this year, for example, specifically this year, the production is not high, and if the selling is not high, and they're not able to earn much this year, then your CSR fund also comes down. The percentage comes down. So definitely there will be some decline. But I think so also if a lot of organizations are focusing on one thing, one sector, than 100 different things like, environment, women, health, education, or whatever, water, whatever, right? uh, Instead of focusing on different sectors, I think it is sufficient. If you look at the big picture of the country, for the country, it's going to be sufficient if our focuses are mostly going to be in those areas, like I said, mental health, or after COVID-19, the relief work and all that. I think that should be fine, at least for this year. And next year, definitely they'll come back to the normal, come back to the normal earning and savings for those MNCs, and then definitely they'll be able to come back to normal. Yeah, that's what I think. You guys have more questions? I have 6 more minutes, so I'll be really happy to share. Okay, I think it's already 11:56. So let me wind this up. So first of all, thank you so much for coming online and asking these questions and listening to me from the beginning. Hope this was helpful for you guys. Like I said, please connect back more, reach out to me, and I'll be super happy to chat more about it, because that's the place where we should start this innovation. Yeah. Just want to thank Dream Without Limits for this opportunity. And I think it's a beautiful initiative uh, done by them. I really like the concept of, I think there's one more question. I really like the concept of sharing the dreams and helping people to achieve that, because I think, and this is the best time also to dream if you don't have one. Like I again keep repeating that quote, crisis is the mother of innovation, and also crisis is the mother of dream. So this is the best time where you are sitting at your home, listening to your parents, your friends, through online or whatever. It's the best time to dream things, because after this COVID-19, even though you don't know how life is going to be, we're really going to have a season where you can thrive and achieve your dreams. So it's best time to dream and share to people. And I think the other best part I like about this initiative is Dream Stories initiative is where when I share about my dreams, I also hold accountable to my dreams and make sure I constantly look into it, and also helps me to know there's someone else with the similar lines, and we can share and talk more about it, and we can maybe do things together. Who knows, right? And I also know, like, Dream Without Limits as an organization, as an entity came happened also because similar interests of people, similar dreams came together and they started an initiative. So uh, I I hope this will be a good start for you guys. Let me answer this question also, and then I'll say bye. Yeah? Uh, Hello, Vishnu M. Hello, sir. What will be the challenges you think social work in the career in the post-crisis period? I think crisis-wise, I think that's what I was talking about. You might not get a salary hike immediately. I think that's one. If the financial struggle is going to be really there, then that will be one aspect. You might have some issue for some time, or if the organization don't have a sustainable income generation model, then that is what one area social workers are going to. And know that for next you might not see so many openings, and that's normal. After this, there'll be like a lot of places, lot of places which will open, and because and the other end, you also need to know they are building new programs. To run new programs, they definitely need more people also. Yeah. So when they boom in the other side, the career opportunities also booms. So definitely that will come in place. You might not, yeah, like I said, you might not get the salary hike or high salary at this point of time, because everybody's trying to save and survive with it. But the other challenges, I think, we might not be able to go very on ground hands-on project immediately, but definitely we will go back to that, and then there'll be strategies built on it. So it's just a matter of little time. But once COVID-19 is completely gone, then we'll be able to do all the projects hands-on and at ground. Yeah. So I think just few months. Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with Dinesh. Dinesh said, as you said, there will be a lot of good opportunity available in social work sector. But I think as a social worker, we need to cope with the situation and acquire new skills during the period. Yeah, I completely agree with. Cool. I think it's time to wind up. Again, thank you so much, guys. So, and dream more, and and like the initiatives like Dreams Without Limits, all that. I think Surojit Sharma, what will be the opportunity? So opportunities wise, like we'll have, like I said, there are a lot of new programs are going to be built during this period for a lot of organizations. Like my expertism is mostly on training and coaching, leadership coaching, and all that. Yeah, I might not be so skilled in counseling or something like that, and definitely, so I can't do that job, right? And clinical psychology, or that is part of your MSW, BSW, whatever, and that will be an opportunity for you to get those kind of jobs in the social sector now, because before maybe it might be 20% of social workers from the counseling sector. Now it will go to 50% or medical related. So that's a kind of opportunity I was talking about. Cool. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm not gonna take more time. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think the admin is gonna share the link for joining the Dreamers and Dream Stories initiative in the comments. So please go join that WhatsApp group. I'm also there, so please ping me. Let's chat there and share more stories, share more dreams. Uh, and let's do more in the sector. Yeah. So all the best. Thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day, amazing time. See you guys soon. Bye.